The summer I turned 18, my parents, my best friend Anna, and I set out on what was supposed to be a fun road trip through Sweden. We were headed to a theme park, the kind with roller coasters that twist like snakes and cotton candy that melts on your tongue. But we never made it to the park that first night. Instead, we found ourselves in a place that still haunts my dreams. A place where the trees whispered secrets and the darkness hid something far worse than we could imagine. We hadn't booked a campsite. That was our first mistake. My dad found a nature reserve online, a place called Black Pine Hollow. The name should have been a warning. When we arrived, the sun was dipping below the trees, casting long skeletal shadows across the gravel parking lot. A lone car sat at the far end, rusted and abandoned, its windows fogged with grime. Something about it made my skin prickle, but I brushed it off. A woman in hiking gear assured us it was safe. "No one comes here at night," she said, smiling too wide. Her boots were clean, too clean for someone who'd just been trekking through the woods. We set up our tents. Anna and I shared one, giggling over TikTok videos, trying to ignore the creeping unease. Then, just past midnight, we heard it. The sound that still echoes in my nightmares. Clang. Metal on gravel. A shovel being dropped. Anna's eyes locked onto mine. We didn't speak, didn't breathe. Then came the wet thud, like something heavy hitting the trunk of that abandoned car. A door slammed. Tires screeched. My phone buzzed. A friend from a nearby town had replied to my panicked text. "Get out! That beach is where the black tide dumps bodies. They dig graves when the tide's low." Before I could process it, a scream tore through the forest, a man's voice raw with terror. It ended abruptly, cut off by a gurgle. Then silence. Then footsteps, slow, deliberate, circling our tent. Fingernails dragged down the fabric, so close I could hear the scratch of them against the nylon. Anna clutched my arm, her nails digging into my skin. The footsteps moved to my parents' tent. Stopped. Heavy breathing filled the air, the kind you hear in horror movies, right before the kill. Then headlights. The car was back. Through the tent window, I saw it. A figure silhouetted against the glare, staring right at us. The door slammed. Tires spat gravel as it sped off. Minutes later, a police car raced past, its single blue light pulsing like a dying heartbeat. We didn't sleep. At dawn, we fled. But curiosity is a cruel thing. Later, I looked up Black Pine Hollow. 3 months before our trip, a man was murdered there, stabbed. His hands were never found, and 2 hikers vanished. Last seen reporting a woman with no face near the beach. The kicker? Last week, a shallow grave was uncovered near that parking lot. Inside, a rusted shovel and a tent peg just like ours. So tell me, who was breathing outside our tent that night? And why did the police never stop to check on us?